Guys, so we're back with another video, and I'm here with my cousin
Jada,
and today we're gonna do do's and don'ts in a relationship. I mean, we're both single, but
speak for yourself.
we basically just wrote, each of us wrote a list of 5 do's and 5 don'ts. My first do is stay consistent. You can't be in a relationship and do all this work to get that person and then not do the same amount of work to keep them. That will just automatically drive the person away when you do that. So stay consistent.
My first do is friendship before partnership. I feel like you should have a really strong bond and connection before you guys move further in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next do is learn about that person. Like, when you learn about that person, you form so much of a bigger bond and just grow closer, and it just enhances the relationship.
My next one is set up boundaries and tone for the relationship. Like, what do you want out of it? What don't you want out of it? What do you like? What don't you like? You guys have to, talk to each other and find out what's certain boundaries for you guys, so you guys, just for future references, so that you guys know that your partner likes this, doesn't like that.
A lot of people get into a relationship, they kind of settle for less and then end up getting hurt in the long run. My next one would be show appreciation and effort. So with effort, you can't be in a relationship and you're the only one putting in effort, because it's just not gonna work. Like, that's just not fair to you. You're wasting your time. Showing appreciation for that person is a major key, because
Major key alert.
you can't be in a relationship and just feel unappreciated. It doesn't work like that.
My next one is prioritize your time. So, like, if you're in school or work or have other loved ones like friends and family, you shouldn't just be spending all of your time with your boyfriend.
Because then your family's gonna be like, oh, you spend too much time with him, and
then you have a life, like.
Right. Like, you have a life outside of that relationship. Not everything is revolved around that relationship. My next one is communication. So I've learned that communication is very, very, very important, because if you're dealing with somebody that when you get into an argument and they can't communicate about it and they're just shutting down on you, that's just not okay. Like, you have to be mature about it. And maturity does come into that, because if they're not mature, they're not gonna want to communicate, and they're just gonna shut down and walk away, or whatever. So that will end up in a breakup if you don't communicate.
My next one is consideration of feelings. I feel like everyone has different sensitivity levels. Like, some things might make you tick that don't make that person tick, or some things makes them tick that don't make you tick, and then you feel like they're blowing things out of proportion, but those are their feelings and that's how they feel, and you just have to be considerate of that if it's within reason and they're not like crazy. But you should be definitely considering their feelings and making sure that you're not, again, overstepping any boundaries and making them feel, belittling them or making them feel a certain type of way.
So my last one would be help strengthen that person with their goals and just everything in general. Because I feel like if you don't have somebody that's going to help strengthen you, why are they there? You're supposed to be able to grow and learn from that person. When they see you messing up on something, they need to be there to, tell you you're wrong and help you to become better than what you are. That's very important.
And my next one is a controversial one. This is like, if that's y'all thing, but my thing is show your partner off. Like, you should never be a secret to anybody. Nobody should be a secret to you. I'm not saying you have to be, posting all the time or posting at all. Just making sure that everybody knows that y'all, or people know that y'all are together, and he makes it known or she makes it known that they are committed to somebody. Show your partner off. It feels good. Even if people say, oh, I don't care. Like, it feels good.
Right.
Like, don't be them people. Nah, I'm going to say that for the don'ts. Let me write that down.
I'll say it. Don't be those people that post everything on Instagram. My first don't would be, don't be too pushy or thirsty. Like, when you get into a relationship, the one thing I cannot stand is when a guy is too pushy. I don't know, I just feel uncomfortable when I can tell he's just in my case, like, just relax. Like, I met you 2 days ago and you're already talking about, you know, like, hanging out and whatever. Like, let me get to know you first. Let's have a few phone calls before that happens. Like, I don't know, I just don't like that. That's a turn off for me.
My don't is get into anything that you're not ready to get into. Like, don't be ready to commit and then you end up cheating on them, or you're just not ready for a relationship and you're just not being a good significant other because you're not ready. If you're not ready, just say that and don't get into a relationship and waste people's time.
Right. Why you go sick?
Because I had a flashback.
So my next don't would be don't start slacking once you have that person, which is kind of the same as the stay consistent, just because it drives people away. Like, that's not cool, and you know, just don't do that. You don't want to be getting flowers in the beginning of the relationship.
What is that?
What?
What is that?
You don't want to be getting flowers in the beginning of the relationship and then you notice like this stuff is not happening anymore. Stay consistent, don't slack.
My next don't is don't lose yourself in your partner. Like, people just get into relationships and just forget that they have other stuff in life going on, like school and like work and like just like other things in life that are as equally important or even more important than their relationship. People just lose themselves in relationships, and you see it all the time, because then when something goes wrong, oh, I'm doing me, you know, I'm getting my life together. Like, you should have been having your life together,
Doing you.
Yeah, you should have been doing you, even
just
in the relationship.
Don't think that just because they're there that you have to put everything else aside all the time. So my next don't is don't act based on your feelings at the moment. If you get into an argument, I had to learn, like, I cannot act based on how I feel at the moment. At that time, I'm fired up and I'm about to say what I feel, how I feel, you know, everything is just coming out, and I don't care how I say it. I just had to learn that I need to wait a couple hours. Like, you know, like, you just need to step back for a couple hours and then you know, approach the situation, because if you say what you feel right then and there, most likely it's not going to end up well, and that can lead to breakups too. Most likely a couple of days later you'll realize, oh, maybe I overreacted, or things like that, or oh, maybe this argument was all for nothing.
My next one is making excuses for people. Like, if you constantly making excuses for somebody, clearly there's something wrong. Clearly that person is not being considerate of your feelings and respectful of your relationship, and you're just lying to yourself. If the person was for you, they would be doing things to try to keep you, make you feel special, not doing things to make you feel a certain type of way. And they'll be considerate of your feelings. If you're feeling down, you know, they would be trying to fix it. People need to stop lying to themselves. You keep having the same problems with the same person, he doesn't care about you.
If you have to keep telling somebody to do something over and over and over again, he doesn't care. Had to learn that the hard way. My next don't is don't stay with someone for likes and views.
Ooh.
That's true though. I feel like a lot of people, like guys and girls, they try to post on social media to get, oh, you guys are so cute. Post them because you want to post them, not because you want to have views or likes, or you want to have everybody spamming your comments saying you guys are goals and cute.
My next thing is don't settle. You know when you're settling, you just be trying to convince yourself that you're not. But you know when he ain't doing right, girl. You know, even boys, like, you know, like when you settle, you deserve better.
And all of this stuff that we're seeing is not just towards guys, since we're females. This is for guys and girls. Things can go both ways. Maybe in some relationships the guy put in more effort and the girl doesn't.
But those are the ones that last, when the guy cares more. Just a little bit though.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, that's true. So my last one would be, you guys are in the relationship to build each other, and you know, you're supposed to be their strength when they're weak. When you're putting them down and you already know they're weak, that's not okay, because you're supposed to be their backbone when they're not, you know, stable. Reassure them that everything's gonna be good, like you have their back, because without that, it's really no relationship.
My last one is kind of like that. Don't leave somebody when they're in like a critical state, like when they're sick, whether that be like mentally or physically. Even if you guys decide to break it off romantically, if you said you're always gonna be there for them, you should. If you know they're going through something, you should still like check up on them. You're not obligated to stay with anybody just because they're going through something, but I'm just saying you should definitely keep your word and still check up on people and make sure they're okay. Even if nothing's wrong with them, you should still like, if you guys ended on good terms, you guys should still like, you know, check up on each other and just. That's why the whole being friends before the relationship matters.
Right.
Because that way, like they genuinely still care about you, even though romantically, the love might not be there anymore. They still like love you as a person and care about your well-being.
Because I do have one particular person that I talked to for a while. I could still call him to this day and be like, you know, I gotta tell you what's going on with me, and he's always there, like, to give me advice and things like that.
And you know, friends before relationship, the best relationships.
Anyway, guys, hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.